Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another segment of Small School Athletic Director on the Educational 80 podcast. We'll be right back with today's guest, but as always, we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Now, don't hit that fast forward button. These are all organizations or companies that I've got a direct connection to, used as an athletic director. You should be using them too. So take the next 3 minutes, listen to our shout outs, then listen to the segment, and then go visit these sponsors. Like I said, you're going to be glad you did. Here we go. We want to thank one of our newest sponsors, Ohio University's online Master of Science in Athletic Administration. The affordable 20-month online MAA program focuses exclusively on interscholastic administration. And when you finish, you'll not only have your master's degree, you'll have 11 NIAAA leadership training courses under your belt that can go toward your RAA and CAA credentials. You're also going to be part of a vast graduate network with connections in K-12 athletics across the country. There's no GRE or GMAT required. To get started, go to ohio.edu/info/MAA. We also want to say thanks to Gipper. Go to Gipper.com, start creating world-class content for your school's social media channel in seconds. It'll help you celebrate your athletes and promote your teams. Gipper is used and trusted by over 4,000 high school and college programs across the country. It's professional graphic design made easy. Go to Gipper.com to get started. We want to thank Hometown Ticketing. Go to hometownticketing.com. They're the leading digital ticketing provider to schools and colleges. It's digital ticketing that offers more. That's hometownticketing.com. We want to say thanks to Vital Signs Wall of Fame. Go to their website, vitalsignswalloffame.com. Check out their interactive touchscreen video consoles. It's a great way to show off your school record boards for all your teams, for all the sports, or your school's Hall of Fame. That's vitalsignswalloffame.com. We want to say thanks to our friends at Huddle. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years, but when I became an athletic director, I wanted a platform that was going to help all of our teams, and Huddle came through like a champ. All of our coaches, our student athletes just loved the tools that Huddle provided. Even our fans and our parents loved it. Go to huddle.com, join the 8 million users, turn your school into a Huddle school. We want to thank our friends at Snap Raise. Have you ever spent weeks and weeks with a fundraiser and then ended up with little or any return? Stop right here. Go to snapraise.com. Hands down, the best online fundraiser out there. We used it at our school with our teams with great success. You're going to love it too. Go to snapraise.com. Check out all of their platforms, but if you're looking for a fundraiser, you found it. Go to snapraise.com. We want to thank Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com and schedule a live web demo to see their scoreboards and their score tables in action. Their products not only generate income, they create the ultimate game day experience for your student athletes. That's sidelineinteractive.com. We want to thank Home Campus. Home Campus is a platform that you will use every single day, just like I did. Things like scheduling, student athlete eligibility and clearance. Who doesn't use that every day? Communicating with your stakeholders, uploading digital forms, you name it, Home Campus does it better, faster, and it makes your job a heck of a lot easier. To get started, all you have to do is go to homecampus.com. That's homecampus.com. And we want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys by LifeTrack. If you've never used a survey to take the pulse of your players, your coaches, and your parents, you're really missing out. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey that lets you connect with not just the people who gripe, but with the people that support your program. And that's a tremendously valuable tool to have when you're talking with a frustrated parent or your principal or your school board. Go to athleticsurveys.com to get started. Welcome back, everybody, to another segment of Small School Athletic Director. This is feature where we have athletic directors from across the country, but they are all in small schools, usually about 300 students or less at the high school level. There's some unique, let's say, challenges and opportunities faced by small school ADs, and we're very happy to be joined today by Taylor Hotek. Taylor is a certified athletic administrator, and he's the athletic and activities director at Regina High School, and that's located in Iowa City, Iowa. So, Taylor, welcome to Small School AD.
Thanks, Jake. Happy to be here. Appreciate
Well,
everything you do for the profession, and um, really have enjoyed listening to you the past couple of years, and really brightens my day when I get to listen to ADs and talk about the struggles and the highlights of the profession. So I appreciate it.
oh, absolutely. We appreciate you joining us for the conversation. What we're doing with this is introduce yourself to our listeners. Let them know a little bit about you and about your school. Where you're at, what the makeup is, and then what are some things that you have found to be helpful, successful, best practices, if you will, that other small school ADs can benefit from.
Sure. So a little bit about me. An Iowan, grew up in Iowa. Been here my whole life. Started uh, in Waterloo, Iowa. Grew up there and graduated and went on to play football at a Division III school called Wartburg College,
Oh, yeah.
Waverly, Iowa. Got my bachelor's degree in physical education and coaching. So I became a PE teacher right out of college and was the head wrestling coach, assistant football coach, strength and conditioning coordinator, and high school PE teacher at a school called Dyersville Beckman, which is another small school. After that, once I got my master's in athletic administration, I became a wellness center director of a Lone Tree Community School District, which is just south of Iowa City. And then I continued coaching wrestling and football at Iowa City High School.
Okay. Yeah, I always
Um,
love to hear the stories and the journeys that we take. And we're gonna have to get you back on for a full interview, but for today's segment, what are some things that you found to be helpful for you in your setting there, Regina High School?
yeah, so some of the things I think really help me at a small school is making sure we're kind of running the department as a whole, and that each sport or activity isn't living in its own world, and that we're all going towards the same mission and doing what's best for kids, because all of our kids are involved in a lot of things. So if each one of them is in their own silo, and then coaches and directors aren't talking to each other and making sure we're doing what's best for kids, we'll oftentimes lose them, or kids will get burnt out or uninterested in some of the stuff they love to do. So some of the impactful things I think I've done to help do that. First of all, getting involved in the NIAAA and our state AD association has been huge. Being able to just network and learn more about best practices and learn from other ADs. Another thing was performance PE class we implemented this year, which has really helped keep kids in shape and progressing through their strength training. But they're not having to do it before or after school or cutting into their practice times and things like that. They can do it in the school day and get PE credit for it. I think if there's two or three others I would add would be, I started our student activities advisory committee. So I meet with about 10 of our high school students to talk through what's going well, what can be improved, and how can we do that together. We meet about once a month and talk through those things. And then professional development with coaches and directors. So we'll meet every other month, and I'll give them updates and go through some professional development things on my end. Then I'll give each season, so whether it's fall, winter, spring, summer, the opportunity to present to their peers and talk through some of the things that they think they do well. So our coaches and directors are learning from each other and networking and kind of sharing best practices that they do and talking about how we can help our kids the best.
One thing that athletic directors love to do, but sometimes they don't get a chance to do, is provide professional development. Sounds like you've got a pretty good system going there. what is your load, if you will? Are you a full-time AD? Are you coaching? Are you teaching any courses? Because a lot of times that impacts on an athletic director's ability to do those types of things. So what's your
Sure.
schedule?
Yeah, so I'm pretty fortunate here. I am full-time activities director, full-time AD. So I do coach junior high wrestling, but that's more of a hobby and more of a got into it because it was open and couldn't fill it, and that's what my background's in. But I love it, so I kept with it and still love to do it today. But no, I just do the AD stuff, and obviously part of the you know district level admin, and I sit on those committees and those teams and all those types of uh, groups that get together and try to move the school forward. So I do a lot of administrative stuff, but no teaching.
Okay. Now, obviously you're a CAA, certified athletic administrator. That doesn't happen by accident. That's very intentional. What are some things that your involvement, and again at your state association as well, but with NIAAA, what's maybe one or two things you can pick out of uh, thin air, if you will, that you have been able to apply directly to your school setting there at Regina that you got from, say, an LTI course?
Well, those 500 level courses where you learn about the legal issues and things like that. That's important to know. Keeps you out of hot water, and I like to make sure my coaches are aware of those things as well. So again, keeping them on the straight and narrow and understanding why some of the policies and procedures we have are in place. And then this past year, I've taken 5 this last week because we just got back from our AD state convention. So I always like to take as many classes as I can there. So I learned a lot this week. One of them was I can't remember the name of it, but gives me the ability to teach those classes next year. So
790, yeah.
yep, that's the one. So looking forward to doing that next year and kind of help giving back to the profession I care about.
Oh no, absolutely. And listeners, I encourage all of you, take 790 if you haven't, and that allows you to go to your state conference or any state conference and teach that material. And as Taylor just mentioned, kind of give back to the profession. Taylor, if one of our listeners wanted to reach out, find out a little bit more about how you do things at your school, or just add you to their network, what's the best way they can get a hold of you?
Yep. So preferred method of communication with me is email. So it's just my name, Taylor.Hotek at Regina.org. And that's TAYLOR.Hotek, HOTEK at Regina, REGINA.org. And then you
And
can follow me on Twitter at Coach_Hotek.
okay. Oh, we got to get that Twitter account. And
Right.
Taylor's information is also on the NIAAA portal for any of our NIAAA members. Taylor, thanks again for taking some time out of your busy schedule. Spring sports is always crazy for athletic directors, and all the best moving forward. We're going to have to get you down here to Florida and maybe present at our state conference.
Oh, be great.
Okay. For our listeners, we appreciate you tuning in. And just remind you, the video portions of these podcasts get uploaded to the Educational AD Podcast YouTube channel. Of course, we do this every single week. And if you'd like to be on Small School AD and you're from a small school, shoot me an email and we'll get you scheduled so you can share some best practices for other athletic directors. Thanks again for listening. We'll see you next time on the Educational AD Podcast. Hey, once again, we do want to thank all of our sponsors. Gipper, go to gipper.com, start creating world-class content for your social media channel. Ohio University's online master's program. My former field setup guy, facilities management guy, got his master's from and through Ohio University. So I recommend it highly. That's ohio.edu/info/MAA. We want to thank Huddle. Go to huddle.com. Want to thank Snap Raise. Go to snapraise.com. Vital Signs Wall of Fame, touchscreen video boards. That's vitalsignswalloffame.com. Hometown Ticketing. They're the leading digital ticketing provider. Go to hometownticketing.com. If you want a platform you're going to use every day, you should be signed up with Home Campus. Go to homecampus.com. You're going to be glad you did. Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com. Athletic surveys. If you've never taken or used a survey to take the pulse of your stakeholders, you're really missing out. Go to athleticsurveys.com. Thanks again for listening to this segment of Small School AD. We'll see you next time on the Educational AD Podcast.